background.
My name is Tom Gillespie. I'm a private practitioner in Northwest Indiana. The city is Rensselaer, Indiana. I've been practicing for 35 years and I specialize in swine health and production. Well, the critical success factors for controlling PRRS depends on the population that you're going to control the virus in. If it's sows, it's load, close, expose, and we usually mean exposed by the use of a modified live vaccine. If it's in grow-finish pigs, we can alter the flow. We can also vaccinate the pigs. And what we have found is that pre-exposure is critical in controlling PRRS. Well, there's two main concerns or two main areas in vaccinating piglets with modified live PRRS. The first, of course, is to pre-expose them before they get exposed to the natural field virus. That vastly improves that pig's ability to perform, continue to eat, and of course, if a pig eats, it grows. The second area that I think is critical is in the local area in helping to control spread from one site to another site.
Good, controlling PRRS.
How would I describe the whole herd approach and its key to controlling PRRS? Again, that comes back to the fact that this is a population virus and you need to approach it as a population in your vaccination protocols. For instance, mass vaccination of sows has been found, both myself and many others, to be the best way of controlling it in a sow herd. The important part there is if you have natural virus in that sow herd, then needle management becomes very critical to not spreading it from one sow to the next via the needle. The question is using the same vaccine strain on the sows and the piglets. Really the main concern there is determining if it's vaccine or a field virus if you have a disease outbreak. So diagnostically we'd have to sequence to find out the strain. Sometimes that's difficult and also very time consuming and expensive. So the fewer strains that you use in a population oftentimes is the best. The impact of a PED outbreak when you're looking at a controlling of PRRS, in my opinion, PED will trump the control program for PRRS. So the PRRS program goes on the shelf for several weeks. And what I mean by this, sows are extremely sick. Now we're talking about PED outbreak in a naive herd, such as we've been experiencing in America. So the sows are extremely sick. All of our energy as a farm staff and team is to try to save piglets. And then secondly, in the material that you use, if it's not PRRS free, you will transmit it to all the sows in the feedback material. The question is, some of the techniques that we have learned over the years in helping us control PRRS, how are we applying that to other pathogens? Well, we're applying that to several. Sometimes even Mycoplasma hypopneumoniae, definitely PED. And so in the PED break, as soon as we get a diagnosis, an accurate diagnosis, we're loading that farm, we're closing it, and for at least 4 months before we start to load those gilts back in again. So there's a lot of technique being used on other pathogens.